Yo, good morning. I'm not sure what is happening today. Hopefully, I won't need what just went out on me. Buenos dias. What's going on, everybody? Let's see, who's number one in the building? Monique. Oh, you done snuck in there. You in first place. You in first place. What's good? Good morning, Monique. Toronto Rick is in that chick. Yo. And I can't forget, buenos dias to my sister Blackskin. Oh, Bobby. Your boy over here sick. I'm just saying, girl. We will talk about that a little later, though. Brick by brick, my G. What's good, my dog? Hey, Kay. Yeah, I know. No music. I know. I don't know what is happening today. Yep, I don't have a clue. Oh man. Yep, it's Thursday though. It's Thursday. It is Friday Junior. Now, I'm not 1,000% sure what's happening today, but what I will tell you is this. Good morning, D Rob. Good morning, good morning. There are times when life just gets in the way. And that's where I am today. So I don't know what's actually going to happen on this morning motivation. But your boy is struggling with a little motivation this morning. I'm going to just be honest with you. I'm going to be real with you. And there's a reason that I'm struggling. My routine has been shaken up. My schedule has been thrown off. And winter is coming. So there's a bunch of things happening right there. Woo, yeah. Tomorrow. Yeah, you got me all excited for a hot second. Yep, but I see you tomorrow, though, boo. I see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'm missing her. I can't even front. I can't even flex. I'm putting my shoes on the wrong foot. I'm not going to bed when I'm supposed to go to bed. My routine is off. I'm eating stuff I shouldn't be eating. Yeah, man. I'm off track. Your boy's off track. And because I'm off track, now my equipment, my gear is off track. And some got to change. So either I'm just going to throw all this stuff in the trash and start over, or somebody coming home. One of the two. Some has to change. Some definitely has to change. And I'm not sure which is going to happen first. So if you're coming on home, girl, you might want to get to stepping. You might want to get to stepping. As I sit here and I play. Oh, I know what's happening. I see exactly what's going on with my little system over here. So I'm going to do something. Hopefully, y'all guys stay with me real quick. I need to try to correct something. Because one system did not even show up at all, which is why you wasn't even hearing the music. So my mic is not even, you're not even hearing me through my regular mic. Because my roadcaster mic didn't even show up. So I need to do something real quick. It actually probably won't even matter because it didn't show up. So let's see. I need to power my roadcaster down, which is, so you guys still hear me right now? I think so. Yeah, cool. Because you're not even getting me through the mic. Yes, yeah, I got the Bobby F fever. Shoot. If y'all knew what I knew, if y'all knew what kind of woman I had, y'all had that fever too. That's all I'm saying. If y'all knew what I knew, y'all would have that fever also. And did that fix it? Did that fix it? Ha. Did that work? Check 1, 2, check, check, check. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? That's right. I think we good now. I think we good now. Okay. See, working on the fly. Working on the fly. And yes, I know. It's not something you hear often that a black man gushing this much over his black queen. But let me tell y'all something. She deserves it. She deserves it. Because part of my job as her husband is to repair some of the previous damage done by dudes who didn't understand who she was, who she is, what her gifts were, what her talents were. And so it's my job to go overboard, making her know how special that she is, giving her the value that she needs. So fellas, not trying to jam you up, I promise I'm not. But that's my queen. It's my job to make sure she's mentally, physically balanced, that she's not lacking. Do I do a perfect job most of the time? Nah, I be failing, bruh. However, I have the mind to do it right, and it's on my conscience to do it right. So therefore, I keep trying. There's never gonna be perfection, but I do the best I can when I can. I do the best I can when I can. And ladies, I told you we ain't gonna do relationship yet, but you see where we headed, right? We gonna get there. But ladies, you also got to be the kind of woman who makes a man want to do that. And that is one of her superpowers. I've never seen somebody work so hard to be with me. So why wouldn't I reciprocate that? But anyway, enough of that. This week, we have been talking about, Yes, sir. I know, man. I know. I appreciate it. I got my moderators hitting me up. I know it was hard to hear me just a little bit. Still getting my system back in line. My mic is a little too hot and too high. However, we're not going to be using any external media outside of my regular soundboard. And I think I see those levels. So I think we're good. We're good enough to go ahead today. I got a bunch of updates. Well, I didn't update anything. And I think I probably should have. But you never want to update stuff right before you go on air, because you just don't know what the update gonna do. And I didn't update, and so a bunch of things are actually off. And I noticed some things yesterday, but they didn't offer the update, so I guess somebody complained. But anywho, we've been talking about purpose this week. This is the week of purpose. Last week we talked about confidence. And shout out, man, thank you guys for the responses on the Van Gogh breakdown. It was a lot of good feedback. A lot of people really enjoyed talking about or learning about Vincent Van Gogh, or getting a deeper dive into his life and how tragic of a life it was. One of the most greatest talents, a genius. But as Kanye say, name one genius that ain't crazy, right? Guy was a genius level talent. And he never saw the fruits of his labor. But his purpose still lives on. And that's the thing about purpose. I think about my early life. In a lot of ways, it was tragic. A lot of ways, I was ashamed of it. I was ashamed to tell my story. I was ashamed of what I'd gone through, and I was angry. And rightfully so. Angry at the world, angry at my family, angry at God. I was angry at everybody. Because when you're going through a lot of stuff, you say, why me? Why did this happen to me? Why do I keep going through all these things? And I would hear all these people giving advice. I would see all of these articles and billboards and newspaper clips, and you would see all these things and people saying, hey, just keep your head up, things are going to be okay. Ah, ha, ha. Don't nobody want to hear that when they're going through. Don't get me wrong. It's refreshing to know that somebody cares. It matters to know that somebody is checking in on you. However, when the bottom has fallen out of my life, there's not a lot of consolation. There's not a lot of things that's going to make me feel good other than time and a fresh perspective. Neither one of those, well, the first one I can't control. I can't control how much time it's going to take. But one of those I can control, which is the fresh perspective. And so, in this whole purpose conversation this week, I started asking about, like, do you know your purpose? And I think Toronto Riggins said she knew hers. And I purposely didn't ask her what it was in that moment because I want to say that for Friday. Because knowing your purpose isn't always what you think it is. Some things we're passionate about. Some things we're really good at doing. But I want to give a small breakdown about purpose. We talked about the salmon migration, the salmon run in Alaska. And I showed you how thousands of fish were lining the riverbanks, just sitting there, just kicking their little tails, just waiting for the tide to go up so they can continue on their journey. I mean, thousands, literally. You can just stick your hand in. It's great. It's like it's better than fishing a barrel. You don't need a hook. You don't need the bait. You just walk on out there and pick you up a couple salmon, go on back to the house, and you can eat good. Because they're so driven by purpose. They know they're going to get trapped in low waterline areas. They know bears are going to be lined up on the riverbank, standing in the waterfall. As they're jumping up, bears are going to be grabbing them. They know all the perils, all the danger. But it's something about your purpose that keeps calling you, and it keeps calling. You keep calling your name, man. It's something about purpose, y'all. I'm telling y'all. There's something about purpose. And we run toward it every day, and we don't even realize we're running toward it. That's why I say purpose is discovered. When you're out there looking for it, the reason you're missing it because it's right under your nose. You discover your purpose. It's like an epiphany. It's this thing that goes off in your head, or this space that you end up in, and it just feels natural. It feels right. And you're doing some of your best creative thinking, your best work. It's effortless. Think about a fish. A fish don't really fight in the water. They flow. Birds don't really fight the air too much. And even you see a bird, even in a strong wind, the bird goes up and the bird just stretches his wing and just glides. Trees are being blown all over the place. Cars are being blown off course. Boats in the water are being blown off course. But the birds, they just flying through it. They just soaring higher and higher. The fish, they don't care how deep it is, how shallow it is. They're in the water. They were created to be in that environment. It's their purpose for being. And that's why it is so much easier when you're in a place that you're supposed to be. Just like I just gushed about my wife. Historically, I would not have done that because I didn't come from that environment. I didn't see those examples. But it was something about meeting her that changed something in me to meet whatever that was. And it became a flow. Now, do I still struggle? Yes, I do still struggle with my past, breaking free of some of those chains. But I'm always asking her questions like this. How do I show up? I just asked her that this week. How do I show up? Is there something you like to see a little bit more of? But she's also conscious of who I am as a man and my struggle. And she knows some things are going to be a little bit more of a struggle than others. And even though, had we met 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we would not still be together. We would have burned each other out. But there's something about that time. Remember I said time, you can't control time. You don't know when it's going to happen. But in the space with her, I feel like I'm my best self. I feel like I'm in a place that where I'm supposed to be. And as challenging as our relationship has been through the storms that has come, there's no place I'd really rather be. So I'm convinced that she is a part of my purpose. And I'm convinced that I'm a part of her purpose. Her skill set matches my skill set to a T. My mother even said, I love the way you guys work together. We flow effortlessly most of the time. Now, when we butt heads, though, baby, oh, we butt heads. Because, yes, like I said, I told you, I've been a soldier. I've been captain of a football team, captain of a basketball team. I've always been a leader of men. I've always been in the top classes of whether it's athletic performance, physical performance. I've always been there, and no one's ever called me a pushover. I'll just say it that way. But this chick right here, yeah. But I'm talking about purpose. Now, she is not my purpose. I am not her purpose. We fit into each other's purpose. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes your purpose may be the children that you produce. Your purpose may be the relationship that you champion and that you inspire. There are a lot of famous wives who are very capable of conquering the world on their own. Well, maybe not conquering the world, but having a successful life on their own. But they would have never been known for being the best attorney or the best doctor or the best cake baker if they weren't attached to this man who was larger than life. If Coretta Scott King was determined she wanted to be top chef and she was going to be a world famous top chef, she never would have had time to support Martin. And we would have forgotten her name years ago, but because of Martin, her name still lives on. Her legacy still lives on. You see, sometimes we fit into each other's purpose, and their purpose may be a little larger than ours, and our job is to assist them. And it goes both ways. Most times it goes toward the man, and those some ladies that may seem unfair, but biologically, heard a guy say this one time and it made so much sense. He says pressure was made for shoulders, not hips. So I don't want my wife stressed out trying to carry a load that I can carry so much easier. It doesn't bother me to go work 3, 4, 5 jobs if I have to. As long as I can come home and give me a sleep in a warm bed and look over and see why I'm doing it, I'm good. And I've never met a woman who said, I can't wait to get me a husband to take care of him. I can't wait to support this man over here. But every guy that I'm friends with has said that, bro, I got a family to take care of, bro. The woman right there, that's mine. And I'm going to take care of her. As long as she deserves it. No, I'm just saying. I'm just playing a little bit. Just a little bit there. But I'm talking about purpose. And Thursdays is my day. I like to bring it all together. And sometimes I don't know exactly how the pieces are going to line up when I start. But somewhere in there, I know it does come together. So we're going to go and get into these gratitudes. It's 7:20. We're going to get into these gratitudes real quick. Hopefully, I think we're in alignment over here. So let's get into these gratitudes so we can get started with today's topic of what I said today was going to be. Purpose is your superpower. Yeah, purpose is your superpower. And we'll get back to that after these gratitudes. Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to just be here on a chilly Thursday morning with a room full of amazing people. Beautiful, smart, talented, conquerors, class acts, and I'm grateful to be associated with them. I'm grateful for my partner. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my business partners, my family, my brother, my sister, my mother, my father. I'm grateful that I get a chance to still be here because it could have been another way. So many times I could have made a choice that led me down a wrong path that would not have me here today. And I'm grateful that God does take care of babies and fools because I was a baby fool in so many ways. So I'm grateful. And I can't stress it enough because I've been on the other side. I've been depressed. I've been lonely. I've been miserable. I've been lost in my own head and in my own thoughts. But today I tell you I'm grateful that I'm no longer in those spaces. I'm grateful for making choices and decisions, getting around people who support me, who love me, who challenge me. I'm grateful that I was strong enough to be accountable. And I'm grateful that I finally took responsibility, not just for my life, but for those around me. And I'm grateful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm purposely not looking in the chat right now, so I'm gonna let y'all have that for a few minutes. And so there's a lot of tough conversations happening right now in the social media space. And one of the words that we hear so often is clout chasing. People trying to find ways to go viral. People trying to find ways to get on, to blow up, if you will. I don't really care about that a lot. Primarily, I feel like things happen as they're supposed to happen. I do believe in predestination. I do believe that the end has already been seen or declared from the beginning. I believe that we're all on a path. And even though we may have free will. Trying to think of the best way to say this. I had a friend who didn't like the ideas that, that God knew everything and that he'd already seen the end from the beginning. And his thought was, because that means I really don't have free will. And so my thought to him, and this is a thing that really resonated with me when he said it. I said, well, it's not that we don't have free will. He's just already seen the choices that we're going to make. And so he knows how it's going to play out. He's not saying that he's not giving us the right to choose. You can choose whatever you want. We do it every day. And so I believe that because he's already seen the decisions, and if I'm on a path, then that means I'm supposed to be on that path, at least for the moment. And as situations change, as times change, then I will make the correct adjustment. I will make the one that is best in the moment, and that things will work out, or they won't. However, as long as I still draw breath, as long as I have the opportunity, I will figure it out. I will figure it out. And that's where the faith part comes in for me. I have to believe that I'm making the right decision. I have to believe that I'm in the right spaces. And because I want the best, because I'm looking for the best, because I'm doing the right things, unfair things happen to right people all the time. However, I've seen both sides of that coin, and I'd rather live in faith than cynicism. And that's my choice. So purpose, what does it got to do with purpose though? Talking about my early life, one of the goals that I had in my life was to be a better father. Because I didn't like the fact that my dad didn't believe that I was his kid. I didn't like the fact that we grew up in the poor environments that we grew up. I didn't like the fact that I wasn't early on physically able to compete or do things that the other kids were doing, or my cousins specifically were doing. I didn't like the fact that I was teased, so my life was this swirl of negative emotions. And so that's why I was so angry. And I always told myself that when I have a family, I'm going to be a better man, first off. I'm going to be a better husband. I'm going to be a better father. And so I was judging my father at maybe I wouldn't say it unfair, but kind of maybe unfair, because judging something that you don't understand, you never get the right perspective. And so for many years, I looked at my dad's through my mom's lens. I saw my dad through my mother's eyes because my mother wasn't happy with my father. And because she wasn't happy, as her oldest child, I heard the most. I just stopped there. I heard the most. And when the person that you love most is telling you things as a child, whether you actively are listening, you always hear. You always see the sign. You see how she looks when he walks out the room. You hear what she says when the phone rings and it's her girlfriend calling in. She asks how he's doing. You hear what's being said when she's mad with him. And so for many years, I looked at my father through my mother's eyes. So I was determined to be a better man than my father. I was determined to be a better husband than my father. I was determined to be a better father than my father. But y'all know about them tables, right? Oh yeah. Them tables do turn. Them tables do turn. Because then I grow up and I have a family. Then I grow up and I am a husband. And then I grow up and I'm trying to figure out what this manhood thing is all about. And I struggled for many years with that. And it wasn't until, y'all know this story already, but I'm gonna tell it again. It wasn't until my 4-year-old, my oldest son, my namesake, Junior, my firstborn, I go to get him from the neighbor, and he sees me and starts crying because I'm in my mind, he's just not ready to stop playing. But when I go to pick him up, he falls out on the floor. He's screaming and but then he says these words, "I don't want you to be my daddy. I want him to be my daddy." As he pointed at the neighbor. Now, everything in me wanted to swing on this neighbor. I gave him that death look, and he was just like, "Hey, no. Hey, brother, I ain't been saying nothing to your kid. I don't know where that came from." Because in that moment, all the anger that had been just resting, it came back up. I was hurt. My pride was hurt. My ego was hurt. I was embarrassed. This little mother. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm providing. I'm present. I'm protecting. I'm going to all the meetings. I married your mom. I'm making sure you got food to eat, clothing on your back. You got a tutor. I mean, I'm going down the list of all the things. All the things that I'm doing. There's nowhere in the world I'm supposed to be losing. Nowhere in the world I'm supposed to be losing. Not in this moment. Because the one thing I wanted most, I've just found out that I'm failing in. And a 4-year-old had to tell me. A freaking 4-year-old had to tell me how bad I sucked. And so I was even more angry. But this time I was sad. I was sad because I thought I had the answer. I thought I figured it out. Yes, another tutor. I thought I figured life out. I thought I had it sweet. It was easy. But I had a problem. You right, Monique, being home and always present. And it's the crazy thing. I purposely took a job. I worked from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. So I was there before they went to school, and I was home when they got out of school. So I worked a full-time job. I went to college at night, and I was present for them when they got out of school. I still was able to leave my job and go to PTA meetings. I mean, I promise you, if there was a master plan ever, that was one. It was no chinks in the armor, no flaws in this plan, except for the person creating the plan. See, sometimes we outsmart ourselves and we make life so complicated. We make life so complicated when it don't have to be. It don't take as much. We do too much trying to outrun something or trying to run to something. And honestly, I don't know exactly which article that I read. I'm not sure which father that I kind of started watching to see how they fathered their children or parented their children. I'm watching father their children or still parent their children. But there were a bunch of pieces or people positioned along the way. But it's always that one straw. It's that one thing that happened that the light, and I mean that straw that breaks the camel's back. It's well, I'm gonna say the light switch come on. Let me change that up. There's always this one person that flips the light switch on, and you start to get a different perspective. My oldest daughter, the one that was on the one that's a drill sergeant, we were high school sweethearts. And we got pregnant with our daughter like right after we graduated. And so this is my first child. My daughter, my oldest daughter is my first child. Me and her mom, we had a crazy on again, off again love affair, but we were like really friends. We understood each other and like no other. Well, she was the catalyst for what I do now. Because I'm out working and I'm living what I'm thinking is my best life. I'm just signing deals, long-term deals with like county governments, doing production and long-term contracts. And then the next day I'm in a motorcycle accident. I break my femur, I crack some ribs, not get a tooth knocked out. I mean, this is a tragic accident. I didn't work for almost 2 years. And so all the money that I had saved up was being every month just going into this hole of debt, paying off bills, trying to stay current. And so one day she calls me because we went through our stuff, but we actually became really good friends at a point. And she called me one day and she said, "Hey," she said, "my job is looking to start a fatherhood program, but we can't find anybody that is qualified enough to teach it." And I started thinking about it. I said, well, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I said, but I'll put the word out, I'll see if anybody's interested. And the phone got real quiet. I said, "Hello?" She said, "Yeah, fool, I'm talking about you. I want you to come do it." And I'm just like, "What, me?" You want me to come lead the fatherhood class, the fatherhood program? Nah, it's probably not me. I suck as a dad. She said, "Boy, you are the best father that I know." In my mind, I'm thinking, well, you don't know many fathers then. You don't know many fathers. She said, "Well, let me put it this way. You still need some money, right? You're not working right now, right? You need a job?" I said, "By George, I do. I do need ends." So I reluctantly took the job. I said, "I'll try it." And so I did. And I go into the organization, I do the interview, and I'm not really convincing that I can do this job. I've never done it. I don't even have my degree is not in education. It's in communication, mass communication. So I'm good with a camera. I'm good with this computer stuff. Sometimes, apparently, not today or any other day. This whole quarter. But anyway, so I'm not even qualified to do this job. But I don't know if it's because of her word or what. But they saw something in me in the moment, and they felt comfortable saying, or maybe they just said, well, we ain't got nobody else that even look halfway, that they could do it. So we'll just pick this guy. But anyway, a couple weeks go by. I'm going through the process of understanding what these components are. I'm looking at the material, and I understand something when I'm looking at the material. I've been through that. I've experienced that. Okay. Ooh, I wish I would have known this right here. And it started coming together for me a little bit. So I set up classes. We start recruiting. The first session, I have about 7 dudes in this class. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I didn't even tell that story anyway. But it's like 7 dudes in this class. And I'm not feeling it because I don't think they're feeling it. And I'm talking to them, and they're just kind of sitting back. You know how dudes are. They just sitting back looking like, they give me the blank faces. Nobody ain't really asking any questions. And I'm like, dang. I'm sucking as a dad. I'm sucking as a dad coach. It's like I just suck. I'm sucking as a person. But my consistency, I'm going to show up. My superpower is showing up, but I showed up the next week. And by the 3rd week, I had about 4 dudes come up to me before they left. And they was like, hey man, I just want to let you know that you did an amazing job, man. And at first, we've been talking, and we thought you was trying just making fun of us. We thought you was singling us out, for the purposes of this class. And I said, why would you think I'm singling you out? I don't even know you for real. I mean, I know you a little bit now because of the class, but before the class, I may have seen one of you in passing, but I don't know you. He was like, well, we figured that, since we were referred by, social services or the court system or probation, that you saw our file. I was like, nah, I'm not authorized to see your file. They just know I do a class, and they sent you to the class. And they was like, so you don't know nothing about us? I'm like, I don't. And then one dude just was like, a little tear fell out of his eye. He said, so you understand, man, you get us. And I'm like, yeah, bro, because I've been you. Matter of fact, I'm still you. I just got a little further down the road. That was the moment that I said, damn. Purpose, passion. Let me take these bifocal glasses off so y'all can't see my eyes for real. Hold on. You can't see them in the HD space, in the magnified space. But that was the moment that I realized what my purpose was. The thing that I had struggled with the most, my relationship with my father. The thing that I had declared I was going to be the best father in the world. The thing that moved me more than anything else was my ability to be a parent. And now I'm in a space where I thought I was the only one that was jacked up. I thought I was the only one that didn't get a good foundation. I thought I was the only one with trauma and scars. You see, your purpose sometimes is a problem that needs to be solved. Your purpose sometimes is getting into a space that gives life, that empowers you, that empowers others, that influences anybody within can see your earshot. Purpose is normal and it's natural. It is the most normal thing, the most natural thing to me to be in a room full of dudes talking, sharing. Whether maybe not in the room, maybe we're at the lake and we're fishing and we're just having real conversations. Being able to give insight into my experiences. I'm not even talking about from a clinical book perspective. I'm talking about real life instruction because I've lived so many different lives and in so many different spaces. And one of my gifts is context. I'm a very historical person. I understand how the pieces come together because I'm always looking backwards, and that inform my decisions going forward. And I have been a good resource for so many people, and I didn't even realize it. I was solving problems for a very long time for fathers, for parents in general. And I had no idea I was being as effective as I was. No idea. It just came natural to me, just like a fish flowing through water, just like a bird flying through the air. And when the storms come, I'm not shaking in that space. When my kid acts a fool, when anything happens to my children or around my children, I don't lose perspective because I understand it in a way that just is easy for me. It's not hard to make a decision when it comes to being around my children or even what to do in complicated situations. I don't lose my composure because I'm built for it. I'm designed for it because that is my purpose. Now, is that sexy? When I'm in this room full of guys and we having these measuring contests. Oh yeah, man, I'm in the NFL. Oh yeah, I'm an engineer. Or I'm an attorney over here. I have my own practice. Or I have my own company over here. What do you do? Oh, I teach parenting classes. And I say I teach parenting classes. And then I always get the indelible look of, oh, okay. Why? Because it's not sexy. It is not sexy. It is not the thing that you went to school and say, when I grow up, I want to be a fatherhood coach or a parent instructor. But it's the best work that I've ever done. It's the passion work that I do. Now, disclaimer. In the nonprofit space, if you are working in the nonprofit space, that's probably not a whole lot of money. You don't go into nonprofit. You don't go into teaching. You don't go into those spaces because you want to make a lot of money. You go into them because they give you that psychic money, not the paper, but the psychic money. It just gives you that feel good. For me, it's the purpose. However, I do have another set of skills that allows me to earn money at a higher level. So you don't have to always, your purpose isn't always supposed to make you rich. Your purpose isn't always supposed to make you wealthy or famous. Your purpose is something that you do naturally that matters most and that you change people's lives without them even realizing it was you. And you're not there for the credit. Because you would do it regardless whether a check came with it or not. Purpose is what gives your life meaning. Service gives you lifestyle. And so most times you will see me, I am always working. Always working. I'm either working on something. I started a company called Father Figure Institute. And this company, their tagline is changing families or changing families through fatherhood. I'm about to say changing communities through fatherhood, but it's changing families through fatherhood. So I'm doing something with that, or I'm on somebody's set filming or shooting something, or I'm teaching a parenting class. It's like everything that I do a lot, but it all adds up and it fulfills my life in a way that it doesn't burn me out. Now, it would have burned me out if I didn't like it. If I wasn't interested, if I was doing it just for the check, it would burn me out. So that's what I'm talking about, purpose. Purpose is a funny thing for a lot of people because when you see a Tiger Woods or a LeBron James or somebody who's born with genius level talent or genius level ability, their expectations are super high. The expectations put on them are super high. But if you ever get a chance to sit down and talk to them, Actually watch what they do. See how hard they go for it, how many late nights they stay up doing it. Because somebody just doing it for the check, they're going to do what's required. When it's somebody's purpose, they're going to put so many hours behind the scenes to the point where they might as well be, they're making minimum wage. Because everybody else on the team this week worked about 40 hours, but you worked 86. You worked 90 hours. So they might be making $50 an hour, but you really only making 15 because of all the hours you put in, because you can't be compensated for the amount of time you spend on purpose and passion. So you will work harder and longer in those areas without as much compensation, at least initially. Now, I'm not saying that it can't grow into something more. I'm not saying that it can't be more than what it is currently. However, what's the goal? What's the mission, and what's the vision? Those three questions will inform how you grow, how big you become, how whether you want to be a local agency, whether you want to be an international space. But those are the decisions that you have to make. I think about when a person discovers their passion. Now, my oldest daughter, her mom, she passed a few years ago. And when she passed, I felt like, because she'd been my friend for a very long time. Matter of fact, I met her in 7th grade also. And you know my first words to her? I'm going to change it up a little bit. My last name was Glover. Her last name was Hargrove. So, of course, we had the same homeroom and we sat right beside each other. And so I'm sitting in the front seat. She walked past me and I'm sitting there writing, and I look over and I look back like. So I sit back. I'm trying to figure out how to say this in the nicest way. So I look back over this edge of my seat. I said, "Hey, what's your name?" I said, "Hey, what's your name?" She told me her name. I said, "Yo." Now, 7th grade. I said, "You got a big booty." You want to be my girlfriend? And what I tell you, the look of, she gave me 3 emotions. It was a look of this shock at first, then it was disgust, and then it was like, this boy's stupid. This boy literally might be retarded. I know that's not politically correct to say now, but back then, everybody was saying this, so yeah. And so when she said she had to make it plain for me, when she said, "You fool," we have a long history of me being slow around her. And so when she, but 7th grade, man, it wasn't like, it was like junior high school. It wasn't like middle school where you got, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We had a junior high school, so it was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And so we were the first year coming from our elementary where all the elementary schools dumped into middle school. So it was so many people I had never seen before. And yeah, she was gifted in that category. And she walked past me, and had we been walking, I probably wouldn't know, but I had my head down. When I looked, it was like that was all I saw. But anyway, rabbit trail. But so yeah, she single-handedly, and I think it was because of our history as well, I believed her when she told me who I was. I believed her more than I believed myself because I was still living through the trauma. But she gave me the validation. She gave me the encouragement. And she gave me direction. You are the best father that I know. Because she saw my struggles early on, and she saw what I became, even when I didn't even recognize it. And so now today, it's taken me a long time. I just started Father Figure Institute basically last year. And it's taken me up until in my 40s to really start living out my purpose. It's taken me a long time. But do you know how much free game I've given out? Do you know how much free work I've done? Because people saw that I was good in this space and they used me for that stuff over there that had nothing to do with this space over here. If you think about it, Superman as a hero. That's right, D-Rob, Big Booty Judy. That's what they call her. But yeah, I mean, I just lost my thought. Rod just threw me all the way off, bro. That's why I ain't looking in the comments today, because I knew this was gonna be a little bit more personal. I was gonna be vulnerable, and I didn't want to get too many comments that throw me off a little bit. Let me see if I can get back on track. I'm talking about Superman. Clark Kent was Superman's alter ego. He was his safety blanket. He was the normal guy. He wore glasses. He had a job. He was awkward. He was all of these things, right? He was Superman. He was a person with superhuman abilities. He could fly. He could shoot lasers out his eyes. He didn't need to breathe. He didn't need oxygen underwater to breathe. He didn't need the oxygen mask to be in space. I mean, he could do anything and everything he wanted to do because it was normal for him. You know what he never did though? He never sought profit. He never sought to make money off of his gift. He tried to hide it. He tried to fit in. He tried to be normal. He knew that if he stood out too much, people wouldn't like him. They were going to have something to say. They was going to criticize everything that he did. His family and friends that he loved would not be safe. So he decided to suppress his gift around other people. How many times have you done that? How many times have you suppressed your gifts, your talents, because of what people might say? Or the thought of being taken advantage of or whatever. How many times have we done those things and we've diminished our own gifts, our own talents for the sake of somebody with less talent? We do it way too often, and we don't fully just be ourselves. We don't feel like we can be, honestly. And so a year ago, I started Father Figure Institute, and the whole mission of that company was a place where men could come together and learn, because I did not know. I thought everybody knew what I knew. I thought everybody was doing better things than I was. I thought guys they all had fathers that gave them the game, that loved them, that hugged them, that caressed them. But then the more I started talking to fathers, I realized so many dudes didn't even have a dad growing up. They saw him on occasion. They never claimed him. They didn't know what it was like to be around dudes until they got to middle school and high school. And then a mentor of mine taught me something that made me really go ahead and start. If you think you are somebody said rate yourself, and whatever skill you do, rate yourself. What do you consider on a scale of 1 to 10? What are you? And if I said I'm a 6. I'm a 6. I've learned a little bit. I'm okay here. I'm a 6. Then this mentor, he told me, he said, well, if you're a 6, do you think you can teach somebody that's at a 2 level? Do you think you can teach somebody that's at a 3, 4, 5 level? Do you think you can even have a great conversation with somebody that's on that 6 level? Now, if they're at 10, yeah, you know you can do with that. But you don't have to be a 10 to teach somebody that is at 2. Start where you are. Start where you are. Do what you can. Give what you can. And let the rest figure out in the wash. Because you're going to be like that water we talked about on Monday. Path of least resistance. Your purpose will give you the least amount of resistance when you're doing it. Because it's natural. It's like breathing. So if you out there fighting, trying to find your purpose, if you're out there struggling, trying to understand what your purpose is, I want to tell you, your purpose has always been there. It's the thing that you discovered early in life, a passion for something. It's the thing that makes you the most upset and you want to fix it. It's the thing that people are inspired by or even inspires you. It's the thing that's the most natural to you. And yes, it can involve money. It could. It could be a very lucrative thing. However, Superman never profited off of his ability to fly. But everybody else did, though. Everybody else did. I'm sure somebody had the copyright to Superman, the Man of Steel. Somebody had the copyright to it. They were selling mugs, t-shirts. They were selling super growth enhancement pills, make you fly like Superman. Meanwhile, Superman just out there just being Superman, saving people, looking through walls, being a normal, regular, everyday guy. Purpose is a tricky topic to talk about without being preachy, without being overzealous in telling people that they should do this, they should do that. But purpose is something that you discover. And we all have one. But most people are caught in the fact of not standing out. But if you're an original, if you are the only one of you, how can you not stand out? Most of us are so busy trying to fit in that we dilute, we abuse our gifts, our talents, because we're trying to be what pop culture says that we should be. You were born to stand out. You were born to be unique, and purpose is all you've ever known. So if you need to go back and rediscover who you are, what your passions are, what comes natural, do that. Make a list. Make a list. But it won't be hard to figure out after a while that, man, I've been doing this thing since I was a kid. My man Health Talk, appreciate you, bro. He showed me an article of him. The newspaper came out. He was a lifeguard. I don't think I'm gonna butcher it too bad. I'm gonna just tell a little brief. I apologize for telling this story, bro, if you didn't want it told. But it's just so relevant. He had an article that he showed me that a newspaper did about him as a lifeguard when he was 15, 16. He was still in school. The work that he was doing back then in the community. Guess what? He's still doing the same work today. Today. And it's been 20 years. I think. Somewhere around there. It's been almost 20 years. He's still doing the same work. Because it's just in him. It's his purpose. He can't help it. He keep coming back to it. It's like a fish jumping out of the water and refusing to go back in the water. So why you out here, bro? You better get back in there. No, I don't want to be in there. The fish are judging me in there. Okay, I'm being silly now. But imagine that. That's what we do as humans all day long. We jump out of our natural comforts to go into spaces that we're not celebrated or appreciated or not even valued. Talk about purpose, man. Purpose is a beautiful thing. It's natural. It's the easiest thing in the world. The easiest thing in the world. No stress, no strain. I ain't got to go to school for 40 years to figure it out. Now, it might take me 40 years of being stubborn and not appreciating it. but I can get one lesson. I can hear one quote. I can hear one thing, and it sets off a avalanche of things inside of me because it's all I've ever known, all I've ever thought about. And now I can have a conversation about this one thing forever. All right, y'all. Let's change the flow a little bit. Getting a little too thick for me. So let's get into these affirmations real quick. And we'll get ready to end this thing today because I know it's Friday Junior, y'all. It's Friday Junior, and we got stuff to do, moves to make. I am more than enough. I am blessed. I am called. I am the chosen of a generation. I am excellence. I am walking in my purpose. And because I walk in my purpose, I have favor. I have opportunity. I have unlimited potential. There is no spoon when you walk in purpose, when you walk in destiny. I am loved. I am valued. I am respected because I am more than enough. I am capable. I am confident. I am more than enough. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am more than enough. And because I am more than enough, there is nothing that I can't accomplish, fulfill, or do. Because I am more than enough. And so are you. Woo! Friday Junior, baby. It's Friday Junior. Oh, I still got another day before I see my boo. But I'm grateful for her and what she's doing. I'm grateful for you, man. Y'all was firing this chat box up. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go back and read when the show's over. That's why I leave the stream going a little bit longer. I cut the video part of it, but the chat still be live for about a good 5 minutes afterwards. So I can go back and catch things that I didn't catch. And I know we done passed our hour, and I want to be respectful of you guys' time. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get up out of here. And Friday, you know how we do. We try to make Fridays a light day, a fun day. So tomorrow we're gonna just talk about, what do you think your purpose is? And how do you know? What do you think your purpose is? And how do you know that's your purpose? Now, if you don't have a definite answer, don't feel like you're pressed or pressured to say it or to share it. If you're not even sure, I get it. This is a very tricky proposition, but we're gonna keep it loose. Might even do some music stuff, some tracks or something. Not sure yet. Fridays, I like to keep it loose, man. I like to not be too programmed. So shout out, as we always do, my sister Monique, Toronto Riggins, that chick yo cuzzo. How y'all doing today? Buenos dias, Blaxican. ¿Cómo estás? Bobby Ed, hey boo. What up, Kay? Shout out to you, sis. I know it's a sacrifice to get you up early in the morning, so I appreciate you. Brick by brick. Always supporting your boy Craig G. I know you out there listening. Much love and respect. D Rob training. He out there training today, y'all. I appreciate it. And we're gonna see if I'm gonna send a prayer up and see if we can get some heat cut on. Cause yeah, it is an ice cube out there. It's definitely out there. Gary G. Oh, Gary with the E. That's my guy. Hey man, I appreciate you. All that you do, all the support that you've shown throughout the years. Health Talk, bro, you already know, man. You're not a day one, but if I can engraft you into this tribe of day ones, you definitely gonna get that nod, bro. But I gotta bring it for the committee though. You know, it's an organization. But you guys, I'm excited, man. You guys have an amazing Thursday. Whatever happens in life, just know you are more than enough. You are well equipped and able to overcome every obstacle, every trial, every challenge, everything. You are well equipped to do it. And I'm grateful to have this time to share with you that we can be family, that we can get to know each other, and that we can become more in tune with our purpose, with our true mission, with our ability to influence, to inspire, to motivate, to change. Because we all are change agents. And I believe that there's amazing things happening, or going to be happening, just from this group itself. So you guys, you ladies and gentlemen, you go out, have an amazing day. Have an amazing day. Know that you are valued, you are respected, you are loved, and we will definitely see you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing day.